This is Brownie's Podcast.
Wowie! Hey, it feels like we haven't been all together for a year. And how long has it been technically?
It's been like 9 days, but there's been plenty happening in it. You went to Hamilton
went
Island?
to Hamilton Island. It was unbelievable. G'day, broads. G'day, boys. I turned up to, how's this for a trip? Went to Hamilton Island with the lovely, with Coles.
Just to get away from everyone.
Get away from everyone.
Who you love?
Who I love. Just make sure I clarify that.
Yes.
But I took Coles away to Hamilton Island. We stayed at Qualia, adults only resort.
Very nice.
Beautiful. No
What does
kids
that
there.
mean? Oh, no kids.
Yeah, no kids.
No.
And,
Does it mean a bowl
It's
that
the
keys
most
go in?
exclusive place probably in Australia.
beautiful.
Don't just gloss over that, Jake.
No, it was good.
Is this part of that secret society that Dog's part of? Is that how you got into
It's
this?
not
fucking-
quite as exclusive as Brownie's podcast, Instagram. Oh, no, fuck it. What's it called? WhatsApp group.
What's happening, of course, yeah.
Well done, Brody.
Well, I think
Sorry.
Big Mel Brown may have made a couple of calls, just got me in because it's very hard to get into. But anyway, on the way up, we had to fly from Melbourne to Brisbane on to Hamilton Island. Brisbane Airport, had an hour and a half to kill, roll into the Virgin Lounge because I'm a platinum member there,
yeah,
Brown
platinum.
Dog.
Oh, is that right?
Which is unbelievable considering we haven't really flown for 3 years. However, I've held the status. I walked in there. Who is in there? Clark Keating and his family. I said, Craggers, how are you, champion? Where are you going? He said, Hamilton Island. I go, well, who would have thought? And then 5 minutes later, he's sitting there sipping a coffee with crackers. Simon Black walks around the corner. Blackie, where are you going? Hamilton Island. Coles is looking at me going, did you know about this?
You set this up.
It was like a Carlton Mid-Ad, remember years ago.
That's amazing.
Too big a coincidence, I reckon.
It was too big of a coincidence. So I did go and see the Blacks and the Keatings, have a couple of beers, and then we escaped back behind the walls of the adult-only resort and just left their lunatic kids
How was
behind.
it without the kids, mate? Good?
It was beautiful. It doesn't time stand still without the kids. It is magnificent.
What is it like to do the whole partner swap thing at a resort? Is it,
It was good.
is it good fun?
No, well, hey,
What about the Hilux keys hitting the bowl? No greater feeling.
It's a heavy key. It's a real show of dominance. It's like this.
They must have done that away from Kuala because people that aren't residents of Kuala aren't allowed to set foot in the joint.
That's right, exactly
So-
right. You know, it's like Fort Knox. There's these massive doors that open up, and then you just go and hide away there.
So if there was an apocalypse, they're all sweet in there.
Oh, yeah, you're safe. Safe as houses. So,
Hey.
good trip.
This podcast, we're going to call 3 of our WhatsApp listeners. We've got so much to get through. But, Dog, you've been f***ing bull riding. What the hell? We'll get there. Don't answer that just yet. But I want to get this caricature out of the way.
Well, the day before our last episode, the Sunday, I was a bit hungover for our last episode, but remember we had our premiership
Yes,
reunion,
that's
20-year
right.
premiership
Yep.
reunion. Paul Harvey was there, who's a cartoonist.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic cartoonist. Very accurate too, I might say.
Well, I don't know.
I said to him on the Sunday, because he was actually got Martin Pike, as I said, organised it all. It was fantastic. And a nice little touch, he got the cartoonist, Paul, to come along and do, cartoons of the kids and some of the boys, all that sort of stuff. Well, I said to him, Harv said to me, I'm a big fan of the podcast. I'd love to do a bit of a team photo of you boys.
Love that.
Fire away. Well, anyway, Harv's has delivered the goods in the last couple of days, and it is unbelievable. It's astonishing. There's a lot of questions to be asked, I know.
You're telling me there's been art made of us. All 4 of us right now.
All 4 of us, so it'll be going where, Broads?
It'll be going up on our Instagram. Here's just a little demonstration of it.
It's amazing.
Time for some art appreciation.
Mate, look at that.
It looks perfect.
Perfect.
He's
Perfect
nailed
scale.
you, Dino. He's nailed most of JB. I reckon he's pretty accurate of mine.
Well, when you say most of JB, are you saying
From
not
the
all
waist
because
up.
his cock is the size of a catamaran?
Yeah,
is,
From the waist up.
that why you're saying most?
His trouser snake is actually resting on the floor. It's
Yeah.
almost bending in the middle and then landing on the
looks
floor.
like-
So big, it's got an ingrown toenail.
Well, yeah, it looks like your penis is wearing a sandal. That's how large it is.
And Dino, your appendage is in the shape of a joint and seems to be a light.
How does that work?
Weed.
So if it's a light, am I aroused?
Yeah, I don't know. Does it light up when you get aroused?
All right, let's go to a dog's appendage.
And his seems to have a very aggressive looking dog head on the
brown,
end
it's
of
a
it.
brown
Now,
dog.
chuck me that, because JB, when he's... Jonathan looked at this and said, "Why is Campbell f***ing a hawk?"
But it does look like, it almost looks like the Tasmanian devil, doesn't it?
does.
It's really like quite aggressive, a lot of teeth.
Mate, when we were living up at the farm in Queensland, Brown Dog, we had some wild dogs, had a problem with wild dogs coming through the property. And I swear to God, I saw a dog resembling your head or your penis running through our property years ago.
Now, if we go
bros.
over to points bet,
Pinner?
now I can see clearly a small mushroom.
Pinner points bet?
A small mushroom. What can you see there?
Nothing.
Because JB reckons...
An innie.
JB reckons is Pomeroy's penis a turtle? This is amazing, man. And by the way, it says Magnificent up the top
It
in
does.
impact font.
Well
It's
done, Harves.
Great.
This is
It's
absolutely
amazing.
beautiful.
So we're going to get in contact. Well, I think we'll get Harves on next week. What do you reckon? For questions to ask, and then
Oh,
we can
man.
get his proper details for our group and our listeners to get in touch with him if you want your own. But what we are going to do is we're going to have to start coming up with some ideas about how we're going to get this out, whether it be merchandise,
Yes.
stubby holders, whatever it may be. We can talk about that.
Bros, can you
for
post
sure.
that on the thread now for folks to see? I
Yes.
don't know. Both versions, it's up to you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm going uncensored on the
That's a good call.
on the WhatsApp group.
That's a good call.
I'm going to go off script here for a second, boys, because it's not on the rundown. But let's just bathe. Let's just bathe in the debacle that is the Essendon Football Club for 1 second. Just for 1 second.
Well, coming from you, mate, as a former Hawthorn player.
Hey.
Jesus.
This is...
Mate,
they've
it's
had,
not like you to
People
play.
in glass houses
It's not-
don't throw stones.
no
What are
shit.
you doing?
they've had a CEO for 16 hours, and he's out of the door. He's out the door.
Why are they incapable? Are they incapable of making a f***ing smart decision?
Well, it seems from the outside looking in, their past 15 years is littered with incompetent governance because they don't do appropriate due diligence.
Well, mate, we cooked them in 2008. Since we knocked them over in that granny, mate, they're just all over the shop.
that's true.
Due diligence, like, it's... And I know they've come out and they said, you're not allowed to ask questions about religion in job interviews.
Job interviews, yeah.
But you can f***ing Google.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
you can do background checks on people post-interview, you know what I mean?
So, to your knowledge, what's this guy all about?
Oh, he's just a big churchy.
Yeah,
and,
right.
And they have their views on abortion and homosexuality and things like that, which, is their right to have, but it doesn't necessarily bode well
No.
in society.
Well, it's important to know that too that you can be obviously religious. I'm Catholic growing up. You don't have to believe in all the beliefs of that particular religion. But in his case, he was the chairman of the church,
of the
or
church.
you
And
know,
he
the
gave
leader
that
of
in
the
a
church.
sermon.
Yeah,
So they're his direct,
it's
they're
too
his
much.
words. So
Too much.
By the way, when I think staunch Catholic, I think Jonathan Brown.
yes.
So
Every
anyway,
Sunday.
I just
light the
wanted
candles.
to address that. I wanted to address that. Could you imagine, right, if they appointed Alistair Clarkson as their coach as well with what happened?
jeez.
That would
that
be
would
even
have been-
more. But it does take away the really good announcement of Brad Scott, which was all, we've got a new coach, we're going to appoint a new CEO, it's a new era, let's move forward. And now this, which I personally don't give a shit about, but the media are having an absolute field day on Essendon and just how silly, this appointment was.
I tell you, it looks even funnier because it's Andrew Thorburn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Andrew. Yeah. Where is it? Have I got that right? No, Andrew Thorburn used to be the CEO of the NAB Bank
Well,
for
he's
a time
them
as well. They got in a bit of trouble with the banking.
You got
NAB.
What happened?
Oh, they've done all sorts of
Well,
dodgy shit.
as part of the Banking Royal Commission, so he's in a bit of strife around that, or certainly had to face the investigators. However, it was an interesting side note that he was in charge of the Essendon subcommittee to find the new CEO, and then all of a sudden he got the job himself.
It is truly amazing. He appointed himself.
Jesus
That's the greatest
Christ.
thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, Brad Scott, great appointment. Great appointment, no doubt. And the club needs that. He'll bring the club together.
So basically, Essendon gave him the choice. They didn't stand him down. They didn't sack him. He resigned. They said, you have to choose football or your faith. You know, to step away from the church that you're chairman of. He decided to choose his faith and therefore resigned. I did a poll on Twitter as soon as I heard this. Choose football or faith? Which one? Which one would you choose? It's currently sitting at 89% choose football, 11% choose faith, and there's been 1,100 votes.
No
so
shit.
Football is our favourite.
It depends, though, if you've got Gary Ablett Senior in your team.
That's true.
If you got God, I'll be voting for religion, mate.
We're going country now because you psychopath. Yeah, what first, Jonathan?
Well, just quickly, Dog, the Hawthorn debacle.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're not going to go too deep because we don't want to get in strife. But your man, Alistair Clarkson, and my man, Chris Fagan, I'm concerned for them.
Yeah, look.
There's concerns. And Parley, it might just drag on. Not Parley. It's going to drag on for months and months.
Well, you hope it doesn't. I think that everyone in the footy world, including Brisbane, North Melbourne, the AFL, they want to sort out what's unfolded accurately and move on, because you can't have two clubs without a coach leading into the pre-season and things like that. Look, I've known not just those two, but Jason Burt, who was the player welfare manager at Hawthorn, that's been involved in the early report from Hawthorn for a very long period of time. They have decades of history of being really, really good people that have always had the best intentions for their players.
They still could have got it wrong, man.
They could have got it wrong, but knowing them, right, and how they operate and the people that they are over a long period of time, and knowing the three accusers, if I had to make a call on it, I'm going with the goodness of what they've done every day of the week, and I'm going to back them to the hilt. It's not to say that some of the stuff that has been reported didn't unfold, but I know that they're honest people. I know that they're trustworthy people. I know that time can distort things, and also know that context is really important, Deano.
Dog, two things can be true. You can be an honest, good person, and you can up.
No, I know that, right? But that's why I said context is really important, because it's different to sit here as a senior coach of a footy club and think you're a bit of a father figure to people and express some worldly advice, talking about relationships, talking about footy, talking about family, all that sort of stuff, and also then be the senior guy that made some comments that has not been misconstrued. I'm not saying that, but then come out 10 years later and cause some distress, right? And that's probably as much as I can go into it.
We still don't know. We need to know more, right?
I think we need to know the players, and they don't want to come forward and talk to the AFL report. They don't want to do it anymore. Whether it's a anonymity thing or this has blown up to something that they just don't want to be a part of anymore.
Be very distressing to be a part of.
They were talking,
especially the publicness of it.
Absolutely.
And so I get that that's not fair on them, but it's also not fair on Alistair Clarkson, Jason Burt, and also Chris Fagan at the moment. So it's a delicate situation.
Absolutely.
And I know how hard it hits people. I've spoken to Sean Burgoyne and yourself that have got Indigenous backgrounds, and it's just a terrible situation. But until you hear both sides of the story.
Here's another thing, though, with Bogans that here, when this stuff comes up, they put this issue into every Indigenous issue that comes up. So they see it, what more do they want? Like,
it's never money.
No. When I say what more do they want, it's like they think once an Indigenous issue comes up and it's resolved, in their mind, they're going, we're done with that. But then the truth is, in history, there's a lot of shit that's gone down, and it will come up at different times.
Of course it will, mate. Historical things will always go on, certainly in our lifetime. The challenging thing for the AFL and for those two particular clubs, Brisbane and North Melbourne, where the coaches are affected, their positions are untenable while the investigation's going on. Now, how long's the investigation going to go for?
Yeah.
And how long does it carry on? Well, how long's a piece of string?
Yeah.
We've seen these things happen in the past.
See, here's a question,
that's
JP.
the challenging thing for those two clubs in particular.
If the families that spoke to the report under anonymity and it's now blown up to something that they don't really want to be a part of, if they refuse to talk to the AFL in terms of their investigation, then it's done. You reinstate Alistair Clarkson, you reinstate Chris Fagan, and they move on, because you can't have a tit for tat that is prolonged over a long period of time. It's not going to help anyone. It's never going to be a legal issue. I mean, they can say we're going to take legal advice and take action, but all the journos have actually ever done is report on what Hawthorn put forward. So they're facts from those people. So you'll never be able to sue them and win a defamation case. It might just be, okay, they won't speak. We need to reinstate these guys because they're denying it and it just goes away. But who knows?
Pomeroy.
I tell you the first thing that I thought as soon as I saw this headline. Alistair Clarkson's never coming on this podcast.
Exactly.
You promised him for months, and he's never been further away, mate. He's never been further
Obviously,
away.
I thought that as well.
And you know what else? After Buddy's grand final
Yes,
performance,
I was just going to say that.
I don't think he's coming on the podcast either.
Buddy's not going in front of an iPhone camera, let alone a microphone.
So, all chips,
Jesus.
all chips in the middle of the table for Sam Mitchell. He's
There
the
you
only
go.
one left.
We'll get Mitch. But yeah, I think, does that,
Yeah,
is that like,
yeah.
I know it's, like, I know the type of people they are, and they would never say or do those actions in a detrimental way to impact someone's life negatively.
Yeah, and look, mate, they're your personal. You've got personal
Absolutely,
relationships,
and that's
you've
got to be
observation
respected.
with-
You know this.
That's absolutely got to be
That's not
respected.
to say that good people don't sometimes do bad things,
Yep.
but you know, it's very delicate.
I just get, it triggers me when this happens, when people go, oh, no, they just f***ing want attention. What do they want? That sort of stuff.
and
No, it's f***ing not that.
Yeah.
You
And the day it came out, Deano,
All right.
the day it came out, just really quickly, I did some stuff with Mickey O and Travis Varco and they were just as rattled and affected as everyone else. You know what I mean? It really does trigger everyone. So
all right.
that's as serious as we'll be probably on the podcast.
That's
for a long
right. And
time.
you know what? It's okay to discuss it.
Yeah, no
You've
shit.
had first-hand experience with those people.
You should.
Dino,
should.
you obviously, as a part Indigenous man, or
Noongar.
a Noongar, sorry.
Yeah, but like
of
if you just...
we can say that.
Absolutely.
You're a proud Noongar man, so
Absolutely.
it's good to see from your perspective.
Hey, let's go bush.
I'm now Campbell the cowboy, riding by day, riding by night.
Are you just riffing this? Was that ad-lib?
Nah, that was ad-lib. No.
Could you tell?
So, I went to Coolin races over the weekend.
Where's Coolin?
It's 3 hours inland,
Yeah.
east
Yep.
from Perth. Okay?
okay.
A town of 300 people.
I've never heard of it.
No.
But for the Coolin races, which happens once a year, they get 4,500 people there. They all come from near and far, caravans, swags, utes, sleeping under the stars, and they come here for a couple of days. And let me tell you, it was the best few days. Ty Canelli, Glenn Boss, and myself went.
Jeez.
So what happens when a
like
jockey,
a
an
BS.
Irishman, and a brown dog walk into a bar? Plenty. We went through a
It's
little...
like a B&S bash. I'm sort of picturing that. A B&S bash at the races.
Mate, it was very sharp. We had a caravan. We just drove up the highway. I stopped at a little country town called Quirriding.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Yes!
I've heard that little town before.
That is where Deano grew
Brother,
up.
that's my hometown.
You got your sign out the front. Is his name
Did I
on
say the name
signpost?
right?
Quirriding. Pretty close, man. No one gets it right.
Are you the most famous person from Quirriding?
Nah, Drew Banfield.
Drew Banfield. Not
Premiership
bad.
West
Not
Coast.
bad.
Number one draft pick.
I think Carl Langdon was from around there, but he's no band. I used to go bunny bashing there, man.
Did ya?
Used to hunt bung arrow and cook that shit up.
So we're driving through Quirriding. Get to Coolin. I bump into a few people that know my family. So Mel was born in Dowran, right? I've only ever known Dowran. They said, did you know that your grandpa, Archie Brown, grew up in Quirriding?
No shit.
Really?
Grew up in Quirriding.
You definitely know my mum and all my aunties.
100% they would. So I didn't know that, but so I was just stopping into a country town and had a coffee and drove through, and then I told Dino, Quirriding, he goes, you son of a bitch, that's where I was
Son
from.
of a bitch.
And then I found out, so I've got some history there as well.
Just like
Nice.
Simon Black has his name on the signpost going into Mount Isa because he was born there. Dino, in years to come, you
Mate.
have your name there on the signpost of Quirriding.
Oh, no, if not, just that caricature of all of us in the roadhouse. That'd be gorgeous.
So I rode a bull, right? I had a tug of war competition against Ty Canelli.
A
It
real
was the
bull.
Irish.
He'd kill you.
versus
He would kill you.
The Aussies, and we lost. And he won the tug of war. So the punishment, I didn't know at the time. The punishment, they said, we've got something up our sleeve. We drove to Bonington. Have you heard of Bonington?
Absolutely.
It's another couple of hours. There's a lot of driving involved.
Yeah.
They put me on a motherfucking bull.
Yes.
8 seconds you've got to last.
8 seconds.
That's, 8 seconds.
No, that'd feel like a lifetime.
And I've always grown up having dreams of being a matador, right? I was never the guy riding the bull.
Oh, yeah, got to unpack that one. I've always had dreams of becoming a matador.
I've never had dreams of getting on the bull, but I had to because I lost the bet. So you sit on this bull, and they looked after me. They got like
show us how you rode it.
So I get
Well,
on.
maybe you should change the caricature. Change from the dog.
Yeah.
As the penis as a bull.
So what do your hips have to do when you're on it?
Right hand goes on.
Yes.
You pull the rope so damn hard.
Yes.
In the palm of your hand, right? You go back around, you do it again. You then move your ass up as close as you can.
It's really high, isn't it?
You're basically sitting on your hand. I'm right-handed, so my right hand strapped. Left hand goes up for stability.
Yes.
Right?
Tell he's done this before.
Why did you have no pants on? That was the weird.
Good question. Good question.
Are you ready? I shake my head and say, as ready as I'll ever be. And the gates fly open.
Bang.
He's
Now,
smack talking the bull.
all you need to do, don't look forward. Don't look at its head. You look at the shoulder blades of the bull, right?
Sure,
Because the
stay
shoulder
centered.
blades is where it's going to take you. He goes out. He bucks. He starts bucking, right? Like a bucking bull.
Like a bucking idiot.
And I've been on a few mechanical ones before. This is completely different in real life. And then he just dog-legged left, right? And I didn't anticipate it. And up and over I went, and I think I've broken my hand.
Shit. Yeah, when Dog shook our hand, it was very limp and warm.
Mate,
Yeah,
I
it was too.
lasted 2.94 seconds.
I think that's generous. I watched the clip. That didn't feel like 3 seconds.
No, I didn't feel like it. I feel like I'm. I feel like I'm watching you reincarnate your bachelor days. The way you're sitting on that.
So you know what you do when you get bucked off a bull? You get up and you say, I'm going again. So
You got up again?
On I went again.
Did you have those little clowns there that distract the bull?
They chased it.
Yeah.
Cameraman went flying.
Yeah.
But the first time you didn't even put up a fight. Like you put a lot of
I
theatrics
just
into.
overbalanced.
Yeah, Dog, the first time it was like you were surprised that it was kicking.
I know it was like a lot. He put a lot of theatrics into that explanation, but
What-
really,
yeah.
you sat on it. It took a very slight turn left, and you fell off. And you just
That's harsh feedback.
slowly
but
tipped to the
it looked
side. That was
accurate.
it.
That's
that was
why I
it.
wanted redemption.
Okay.
So I'll go back in.
Yeah.
I tie my hand even tighter.
Do they do something with the nuts of the bull to fire him up?
Yeah, they flick them. And
They jig him. They have a jigger.
And I strap myself right in here. Now I've done it. I know what it involves.
And you're angry.
And I'm angry.
How's the heart rate?
What I forgot, up.
Up.
That moment just before the gates fly back, it takes a certain amount of courage for a man to get on a bull.
How much Camagra was in your system prior?
Wasn't much. But this time I'm good. So I'm ready now. I'm warmed up. But what I didn't anticipate was so's the bull. He's warmed up too.
okay.
Flies out the gates, gives one of the great bucks of all time. I last 1.78 seconds.
You're kidding.
And yeah. So the second time I was worse, but great fun.
Man,
Yes, mate.
that
Great
is
fun.
sick. Hey, have you heard about this fishing thing, Dog?
Yeah, what's going on, JP?
Well, first of all, let's show some respect to the topic.
Talking fishing, talking
You a fisherman, Dog?
nothing but fishing.
No,
We're talking fishing.
I like catching marlin.
Yeah, you like catching marlin?
Just marlin.
I'm the Brownies podcast's resident fishing expert.
You and Rex Hunt?
Yeah, I watched a few Rex Hunt episodes back in the day. The only time I've been fishing properly on a fishing show, Andrew Eddinghausen. Remember ET's Fishing Adventures? Yeah, well, I was sponsored by Toyota, and as you know, I've driven a Hilux for a long time. So Toyota rang me and said, we need to provide a guest for ET's fishing events. Would you go out in Port Phillip Bay with him? I said, yeah, sure, I'd love to meet ET. We went out there, a few new Shimano, brand new Shimano
It's
rods.
always Shimano. Everything fishing is
It is,
always
isn't it?
Shimano.
It's always.
Every time.
We're out there catching flathead, and the first time I do a cast, I had no idea. Mate, I accidentally threw the whole fishing rod out into Port Phillip Bay. You're supposed to not let go of the fishing rod.
Hey, did that feel emasculating?
Mate, it did. It's kind of unbelievable. Until then, all of a sudden, you've got the crew and Andrew Headinghouse, and then all casting their fishing rods, then trying to catch my fishing rod that's going to the bottom of Port Phillip Bay. Anyway, that's my fishing story. But these two blokes, Chase Kaminsky and Jake Runyon, overseas in Ohio, they were at the Gordon Park Fishing Centre just outside of Cleveland. They were at the Lake Erie Walleye Trail Championships.
Republican country, like red-blooded,
Redneck.
gun-toting boys.
So they don't like cheats.
Don't like cheats.
They like cheats. So They had the fishing show, and this is like the Melbourne Cup
Yeah.
of fishing championships. The boys had the fishing championships. They came in for the important weigh-in. They brought in this fish, looked like decent size, but very similar to the other boys, the other competitors. So they put them on the scales. One of the fish is weighed in at 15 kilos. Now, that was twice the size of the nearest competitor. And it looked a bit odd because the same size. Now, the bloke in charge, Jason Fisher, the tournament director, he's called for a gutting. He wasn't happy. He smelled a rat.
By the way, Jason Fisher.
This is the call for a gutting.
Fisher.
I want to be out one night at a bar and call for a gutting.
He's called for a gutting, mate. I think you have many times.
I love that you can just do that. At any point in time, you can just call for
I declare a gutting.
a gutting.
Amazing.
I declare a gutting. Well, because, mate, this is $5,000 of the first prize,
Right,
mate.
enough.
So it's very important. So you picture them. There's about 100 fishermen all standing around. They've had the gutting in front of everyone after getting off the scales.
And there would have been murmurs at this point, like, what the
Oh, there
in
was
these
murmurs.
fish?
Yeah, because there's fish suspicious because the boys have won a few championships leading up to this. So they've been on a hot streak. It's like they've won the Caulfield Cup, the Cox Plate, and now they're in the Melbourne Cup. They're going for the Triple Crown. Well, all of a sudden, after the gutting, these big lead balls roll out of the guts of the fish.
So they've been putting it down the fish's throat after they've caught
They've
it.
been jamming it down the fish's throat after they caught it. These lead weights.
Wow.
And this is the reaction from the hundreds of fishermen standing around after the lead balls roll out.
Cheats.
We got weights and fish. There we go. Out of here.
They've been doing this shit for years. Cheating mother. You got a boat. You got thousands of dollars.
Everybody listen to me right now. I don't want anybody to touch these guys. I want
He needs to go to jail.
Oh, no.
Isn't that
So they've been going
unbelievable?
around from tournament to tournament for years,
Yep.
putting lead in the fish to obviously
And, mate,
increase the weight.
they were big balls too, so they would have had to really squeeze them down. How you would have got it down the gullet of the fish.
Wow.
Mate,
You can't
how-
come back from that.
That audio is just perfect. One more time, because imagine that some of these dudes would have had guns for sure.
Oh, shit, yeah. Like, it was real
100%.
redneck country.
We got weights and fish. There we go.
Yeah, we're going to appreciate just that line before we go. We got weights and fish.
How good is it?
We got weights and fish. There we go. Out of here.
They've been doing this shit for years. Cheating mother. You got a boat. You got thousands of dollars.
Everybody listen to me right now. I don't want anybody to touch these guys. I want
He needs to go to jail.
Well, when there's prize money and
unreal.
egos involved, there'll always be people that'll try and
You
bend
should
the
have
rules
seen
and cheat.
Kaminsky and Runyon too, just standing there in silence while it's all going down.
That was
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Right,
all right.
Broads, this court of law. We're looking forward to this, mate.
It's yours.
All right, we've
I've
been
been a bit nervous about this, Deano.
so am I.
What do you mean? Well, we've been going for such a long time now, and we're about 15 or 16 months into this thing, and from time to time there are grievances that raise between a matter of participants. So it might be Deano and Campbell.
Yeah.
Might be Campbell and Browny. Browny and I, Browny and Deano. There's a multitude of, and unfortunately, sometimes you two disagree.
No, JB and I have never. We've never had a
We're
bullshit.
lovers.
Bullshit.
We're lovers.
Not even
We
over
wouldn't
in
have.
a Super Bowl when we realised that we're a ticket short.
And Brownie dogged Campbell by going into the private suite while
That's right.
Campbell was in the
Didn't
nosebleeds.
even care.
But we need an avenue to resolve these disputes.
I agree with that.
See, I think it's time that we introduce the Brownies podcast Court of Law. I think that when there is a grievance that, and I'm going to use this as an example, Campbell and I think Campbell always ignores the messages that I send him, text messages and phone calls.
Wait,
that
rebuttal?
Well, wait, that aren't of interest to him. So if it's nothing that benefits him, he just ignores them. Flat out ignores them.
Big accusation.
Massive. He's basically calling me selfish.
And then when it suits him, absolutely on the text. And he's on his phone at all times, which you can both attest to.
Yes.
So he's getting the messages, and I know he's getting the messages.
He has
but
got
it's-
better since we've been podcasting. He has got better.
He has, but he just
Yes, got better.
flat out ignores me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you can't be doing that. So I'm presenting this case
Yeah.
to the Brownies podcast Court of Law. And I think that the people that are not involved in the grievance need to settle the dispute. And this is binding. This is a very binding...
Sure.
This is like a court of law outside.
Sure.
Okay.
All right,
And
Jonathan.
Feel free, before we progress in that, determine the case, I want you all to feel free to present something to Brownie's podcast, Court of Law. If you're having a disagreement with Kylie, feel free to introduce it to Brownie's podcast,
so it
Court
can
of
include
Law.
other people?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And it is binding.
I've got something.
Yep.
If you say you're going to start a podcast at a certain time, can do it because I'm the only punctual one around here.
Puncture one, you reckon? Puncture. You said puncture.
No, I said punctual.
You said puncture. We'll
No,
go
I
back to the
didn't.
table.
Mate, it was late today.
Yeah,
Very late today.
Late today.
Today's
Ironic.
probably a bad time
The
for me
balls-
to have that argument.
The ball's on you for bringing that out right now.
90% of the time. I'm
All right. Well,
always,
hey, in regards to the first topic that you brought to the
Yes.
table,
Okay.
JB, I think there should be a probationary period where you have to start replying to Brody for the next month. Okay. Whatever he sends you, start replying.
What's the time? It's got to be within working hours.
Well, no, it's got to be summer night time, right?
Yeah, sometime. No time. It has to be within a reasonable time frame to respond.
Within
so I'm
a
going to
day?
give you.
72 hours.
I would say 24 hours is a good
24
time.
hours. 24 hours.
And you have to respond, even if it doesn't.
When was the last
not
message that
self-serving.
you sent me that I didn't reply to?
Oh, this is not going to be good for you.
Oh, no.
This is a literal.
24 hours actually a bit generous, probably.
I think that's fine.
Yeah,
'Cause-
but he's got
He's
a few
busy.
TV. Yeah, he's got TV
He's
stuff.
riding
and-
bulls.
Riding bulls, I'm bloody trying to stay alive.
if he doesn't get back to him within a day, there should be a penalty because we're in court right now.
Okay, that's
what
good.
would that penalty be, John?
Brady can't find it.
You have to polish his glasses
yeah,
for him
fine.
before the
But
podcast.
delicately
I'd love
because
to.
they're
Delicate.
expensive.
Yeah, but you have to use my saliva to do it.
That doesn't seem like that much of a win for me.
Then that subtle smell of saliva would haunt you all day.
So here, read them out then.
All right, I've got Brownie has couch meeting Monday 9 to 11. Question mark. Can you do?
At what time?
Tomorrow is still 9:45. Question mark. No response. And in regard to grand final talks, I was trying to source grand final tickets.
Yeah.
Tickets on or no? Question mark.
Yeah.
No response. I've got a buyer. Can he have them? Question mark. No response.
Jesus. Jesus.
You know why I didn't respond? Because I don't scalp tickets and I didn't want any.
Bullshit.
You're lying
I
in
didn't want any
court.
evidence. Where's
That is perjury.
Perjury.
That is perjury.
Where's the evidence, baby?
That is perjury.
You don't have a text message exchange.
Dog,
right.
for the next month, you got to reply to him within a day, and if you don't, penalties will apply.
Okay.
Do you guys want to shake on this, please?
Yes, please.
Shake on it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Although Dog's wrist is all funny. Oh.
Deliberately shook my hand.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
We're going to call a random now from our WhatsApp thread. I like that. The court of law is it's a great thing, Brody. You should be proud
is
of
good.
yourself. 04, let's go.
Can't wait when one of us calls for a gutting for the first time.
Yeah. All right. Hey, in our WhatsApp thread, there's a lot of characters that we all know, and Mick has had a real rough run.
Mick!
With his health.
And just before we go, this is, again, I believe this is Mick. I had it saved in my actual phone book
shit.
because I've spoken to him before. This is either, and again,
This could
either-
be the wrong Mick.
it's either Mick Fanning or Mick from the WhatsApp group. So
Either way, a huge win.
Either way,
Can
a
you
win.
Can you imagine if Mick Fanning picks up right now?
Hello, Michael speaking.
Mickey boy,
Slick Mick!
Brownie's podcast.
Hey, what's going on?
You son of a bitch!
How you doing, mate?
I'm going all right.
Hey,
2
how
days
are you?
home from hospital.
G'day, Mickey boy. You're our most avid, well, not our most avid listener, but our most loved listener. No doubt about it. We've followed your
Thanks.
story, mate. Just give us all a bit of an update as to how you're going, how your illness is going for the listeners and on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, no, I'm going all right. So, got home from hospital Friday last week.
Yeah.
So I had a bit of a little bit of a incident in hospital where I ended up in ICU, but all good. But the name of the game was to try and get rid of some tumours, and it worked. So I got about 40 tumours out.
Oh, well done, mate.
Jesus.
Good job.
So,
Well done.
very good news, very good news. So, just sitting at home at the moment with a broken sternum,
Brother. Brother.
scar from side to side.
Well, Campbell's been complaining about his slightly damaged wrist. Can you just tell him that he should shut the up about that? Because
Well,
you know what he's
I
going through.
spent nearly 8 days on the ketamine, so that helps. Really helps a lot.
And mate, now what's the process before you'll be in remittance? You know, what's the diagnosis?
Yeah, so hopefully we've still got a few more tumours in there. So once I've recovered, we'll be back to hospital for a bit of radiation. Hopefully it shrinks them enough.
Yep.
If not, we then try and burn them.
Okay.
Yep. Shit, Mick.
So
That's wild. It's a wild thing to hear.
it's been a hell of a long year, hasn't it?
Man.
So
I think I said
we're getting there slowly.
remittance instead of remission. I'm thinking about invoices.
Remission.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
God's thinking about
I'll
getting
send me
paid.
through the invoice.
Now, Mickey, before we let you go, mate, and get that sternum recovered, any feedback for the podcast, the boys? The Brody's just presented a court of law, so if you've got any issues with each other, we can take it up. Have you got any issues with the podcast today?
I don't. Like, to be honest, it's probably got me through the whole year, I'll be honest.
Great to hear.
So, no issues from my end.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, it's surprising, but no issues from my end.
You're a good man.
Good man,
Mickey,
boy.
we love you. And
All good.
we can't wait to talk to you after you get rid of these next f***ing tumours. You're an absolute bull, mate.
Yes, exactly. I'll be at the next party without a doubt.
Champion, brother.
You and
love to
Bin
hear
Dog dancing nude on the tables.
Yeah, well, you never know. It could be me.
Look after yourself,
Good luck,
brother.
Mickey. We love you.
Well done. Thanks, boys. Love yous.
One of the greats.
Yeah.
Great.
Back in a second. Welcome back to Brownie's podcast. Did anyone go to the Royal Melbourne show?
I did, yeah. I went last Wednesday just because I knew I was going to take off over to West Australia for nearly a week, and I wanted to take Boston. And so we walk in, and you can imagine how excited he was, right?
How old is he now?
He's nearly 5.
Shit, so he's peak.
Yeah, peak. So we walk in, he's got his head swiveling left and right. He wants to do everything, okay? And so, he puts some balls down the
clown's
mouth,
Yeah.
and that's great. He gets a little toy. We go a bit further. He scoops up some ducks.
Yep.
Gets a little toy.
Shoots
and then straight ahead of him, he sees this quite a big sort of what's it called?
Birdie Beetle show bag?
No, it was a ride. It was a ride, and you sit on it, and it
teacup one?
It
Spins around.
spins.
I know the one.
spins,
It goes on a bit of an angle.
and then it goes up.
Goes up, yep.
And he goes, Daddy, let's go on that. Right? And I said, okay. So we walk over, and he was just high enough.
Shit.
And we go.
Were you hoping he wasn't tall enough?
No, I was thinking, fantastic. I hadn't seen.
Dog had him in platform shoes. It was the equivalent of that fisherman loading the fish up full of lead weights.
I got to call a gutting.
I hadn't seen the ride and what it actually did, but I saw there was a line of a heap of 9, 10, 11-year-old kids.
That's good parenting. Let's just see if it's safe or appropriate, age appropriate
We
for my
go on.
5-year-old.
You sit on in separate seats. So I'm over here inside. He was on the outside. They strap you in, and it starts. Jess is watching from down below. It starts. So it lifts and it goes around quite gently, and he's going, Daddy, this is fun, isn't it? Look. I was like, yeah, mate, you having fun? Yep. Then it goes up a bit higher. And it starts going quicker. And then it goes up even higher, and I'm talking flying around. And I look to my left, Boston's screaming, crying, his eyes out, Daddy, I want to stop! Stop, get me down! Right, ballistic.
Too late, son.
You can't. I'm looking down at Jess, who's seeing what's unfolding.
that's great.
She's screaming, do something! Right? I'm like, I can't.
She's like John Kennedy at the bottom.
I'm strapped to this ride as well. He's bawling. Yeah. She's getting angry at me because I can't do anything. For the next minute, mate, he went.
Oh, mate.
He was traumatised.
Poor bugger. Mate, he'll never get over that. He'll never go on that ride again.
I think he's scared of heights now. And it was a bit of a debacle.
What a helpless feeling, though. You're sitting beside him.
So helpless.
Yeah.
Dog, did he rake you over the coals when it came to the show bag stand?
Yeah, we got him plenty. Paw Patrol show bags. And
Oh, yeah, loaded him up. But, mate, that was all just ruse. Just to suck you in. He got off. He's like, yeah, got the old man. Righto, what do you want now, Boston? I go, Dad, I have one of these, 2 of those, 4 of those.
Remember getting those show bags, the smell of plastic out of like all the inflatable shit? That smell?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Good.
We're playing a game now called the Florida game. Now, Chrissy Swan brought this to our attention on our radio show, JB.
Yes.
It's phenomenal. So all you have to do is give me your birth date.
Yep.
And then I Google your birth date plus the words a Florida man. And Florida's such a crazy state. So much wild shit happens that a headline will come up from your birthday.
Okay.
So when you don't need your year, just need the
28th of August.
28th of August. Talk amongst yourself.
So 28th of August, I believe that Donald Bradman was born maybe on this particular day.
Really?
So
Maybe.
28th of August. I'm thinking either that or the 27th. Yeah.
Well,
You always get the weekend off too, don't you? It's AFL bye weekend
Bye week,
normally
yep.
before the final start.
Here we go. Florida man arrested with a pound of cocaine. Some kept on stacks of bacon, deputies say.
Bacon.
Man, it's the best game. It doesn't
What
fail.
was it kept on, Rod?
A pound of bacon.
Really?
I don't know how that works.
One
yeah,
pound
I
of
don't even
bacon.
understand
I'm
that.
sure, yeah.
The point is, what a headline.
Yes, great headline.
What do you get?
your turn.
29th of October.
29th of October, talk amongst
Eddie
yourselves.
Maguire,
Oh,
birthday.
Eddie Maguire.
Yeah, the mate, great Eddie Maguire. And I think Will Smith.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway. They pale in insignificance
Yeah,
compared to my birthday.
Do. Here we go. Your birthday, Jonathan.
29th of October.
Florida man arrested after allegedly spitting on a man and slapping his MAGA hat. I don't even care. I'm going to jail.
Oh, nice.
Not as
Nice.
spicy.
Not as spicy.
A bit more
Is
political than we
it
would
the
have wanted.
same Florida man or a different Florida
different
man?
Florida
each
man.
time?
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
just lots of Florida
So-
men who
Oh, here we
misbehave.
go. But the same day, here's a more fun one. A Florida man jumped off his surfboard and landed on a shark. Come
Oh,
on.
imagine
Wow.
that.
Is he all right?
Who knows? It's just the headline. He's dead,
Nick
actually.
Fanny.
Yeah.
Yes.
My birthday is the 16th of December.
16th
December. Anyone born on that date that you know of?
My fiance, we're both born on the same
Oh,
day.
that's right, you
Bullshit.
mentioned that, yeah.
Same day.
Did not know that.
I haven't had a birthday in 5 years.
Well, you
On the
wouldn't. I don't
radio,
think you would
uh,
have a birthday ever again.
No.
On the radio, Pang and Swanee born on exactly the same day of the same year.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
3rd of
That's
November.
amazing.
Yeah.
5 million people here in Australia, and 2 of the 3 hosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
on the
day.
same day.
Same year.
Brody's birthday. Naked Florida man steals pickup truck from dealership, leads authorities on a pursuit.
Yeah, that's cool. I could see you doing
That could
that.
actually be me.
Could you imagine that, Broads? Especially with his caricature as a
With my little
turtle,
mushroom.
as a turtle mushroom.
Now, yes. Now we're going to call Rick, or we'll get him involved. Rick's another WhatsApp listener.
Love Rick.
But Rick's been screwed over, right? And the whole fiasco with sending Browny's books out, which took a long time, by the way. He missed out, and people are now teasing him
Are they? Yeah.
because Rick talks a big game. Not a big game, but Rick's a prominent member of the WhatsApp group.
Absolutely prominent.
And now he's copping shit.
Have we worked out which member of the WhatsApp group sending the porn that needs to be removed?
Yeah, well, no, I when I see him, I delete them. They pop up. I don't know how it works.
It's like a
Is
bot.
there a mole?
It's a bot.
It's a bot, is it?
We're going to remember, it's largely unregulated.
Yeah, it's lawless. It's lawless in us.
You need to be across that.
It's a bit like you at the Melbourne show with your kid. Lawless.
Bad time not to pick up.
Rick.
Rick was in the crowd of Best on Ground
Was he?
a while ago, yeah.
If he picks
Great
up, we'll
man.
give him a book.
Hello, you've called Rick
Oh, he's
Peterson.
missed out again.
Either driving the car or I'm not with the phone right now, but leave your number and I'll get back to you. Thanks very much. Bye.
There's a man.
Please leave a detailed message
Doesn't answer
after
his
the
phone when
tone.
he's driving.
When you have
Yes.
finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Pin Dick Rick.
We have a book that we're about to send you, Rick, if you answer, but you didn't.
Yeah,
No,
man.
you're a very law-abiding citizen, Ricky.
Rick.
Hey, Rick. Talk to you soon, mate.
Yeah, all the best, I guess. We just wanted to talk to you, and you can't even pick up the phone.
Disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. See you in hell, Rick. Bye.
Hey, what did you guys think when I rocked up to Coolin and I sent you that video, right, of the big screen? There's only one big screen there
Yeah.
that televises the races and everything. And when the guys flicked it on in Coolin, WTB baby came up.
That was astonishing.
You set that
I
up.
promise you I didn't.
He definitely
He
set
definitely
that up.
set it
I
up.
promise you.
Swear
I,
on Boston's life.
I didn't.
How did they get the Brownies podcast graphic?
Well, we must have Googled it before I got
Yeah,
there.
that's possible.
yeah.
That's possible.
Yes.
Coolin knew I was coming, baby.
I'm with you, Brown Dog, because a couple of people on my travels up to Hamilton Island said, "Hey, Brownie, WTB, baby."
Yes.
I'm telling you, at Brisbane Airport, a couple of guys yelled out.
I know you can keep fighting it, but how long did you fight Lowell and Rolf? And,
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Harris?
Rolf Harris. What are you doing fighting Rolf
Mate,
Harris?
I mean,
What do you mean you were
Brody,
fighting Rolf Harris?
Brody's been fighting Rolf Harris for years now.
time now.
Hey, more tales. You guys know how I live in the city, right in the middle of the city, like
Yes.
on Flinders Lane. I live in an old building, and I park near it, secure parking.
nice.
Every morning I have to walk to my damn car 200 metres away, a block down the road. I'm walking down the road, and an unfortunate guy is sleeping on the sidewalk, right? He's got a blanket over his head, his body, he's dead asleep. But he's got sick shoes, like he's got these Jordans that I love, because I got a pair of these Jordans.
Yep.
I'm I'm like, I just noticed, admired his shoes. Went to my secure car park and
They seem unique. The
they're like
Jordans.
Jordan Mars, so they're really hard to get now. They sold out, I think. Anyway,
So they're like Nike Air Jordans. Like, describe them. They like what color are they?
they're like low top but chunky. They have got a bit of nostalgia about them, like the first Jordans. They've
Colour?
got black and red.
And he's homeless, but he's got 6 shoes.
If not homeless, dog in a bad spot in his life.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go to my car and lift up the gate, and then I notice that my car has been ruffled through, and then come to the realization that mother was wearing my Jordan.
Oh, bullshit, they're your Jordans.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
I was admiring my own shoes.
Wow. And did you go back and get him off him?
Hell no. No.
He's right there asleep.
Man, his shit's bad for him as is. I don't want to go hassle him. Like, I should have locked my car.
No, he should have gone back and offered him cash, like $50. He would have given him back to him. He would have preferred the cash.
That was two days ago. I swear to God, why would I lie about this? I saw him again this morning.
Is he wearing them?
He was wearing them, and I was about to take a photo of them, but then I'm like, what are you doing taking a photo of a homeless man sleeping? I did not, because thoughts aren't impulses all the time. He's got my Jordans. They're his. Congratulations.
Wow, man. I'll be taking them back.
Would you, dog?
Yep. And then I'd take off the laces.
Yeah.
And I'd try and perform a citizen's arrest with them.
You hog tie.
Welcome, hog tie, to the podcast.
We're generous people, right? All he needs to do is ask. Don't steal. Don't steal them. Ask.
Yeah. But I know, like, his life is shit at the moment.
Maybe dominating pickup games out in the basketball courts.
Back in a second. Welcome back to Brownie's podcast. Do we owe it to try and call Rick one more time real quick?
Yeah, one more.
He's a loyal man.
He is very loyal.
I do love Rick. He's the Michael Moore of the WhatsApp thread.
Yeah.
He's dogging us again. I can feel it.
Well, he might be driving.
What was Michael Moore's first one?
Bowling for Columbine.
Yes, the gun one.
And then what was the second one? He had one for
Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah,
that was a conspiracy about September 11.
He's done one on the environment, hasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Hello, you called.
He's too much
God damn it, Rick.
A lefty for me.
Rick, mate, you're more of a Alex Jones man. Yeah. Rick, we'll try and... The point was, he didn't get a book, JB, so we've only got one left.
One, oh, yeah, that's right, of course, one left.
All right, bros, if there's more, you can send them all out, because it's a lot of fucking work.
I just think Deano forgot that we record these videos and send them and put them on YouTube because he was... He was signalling to you the wanking motion when he said there's one left. So Rick, who watches the YouTube video, is just going to realise that Deano was wanked.
I wasn't aware of what he was trying to signal towards me.
If there's all right, Rick, we love you. Okay, what now? Should we call another random?
Yeah, have another go.
Now, this random is another prominent member of our lives because at our first ever party, he stripped naked and started crawling around the floor at the pub, and security were trying to get him, but just like a Benny Hill skit, he was going under shit to get away from him. Good evasion, Jonathan.
What's his name?
Bin Dog. Well, it's not actually, it's Fin Dog, but we heard it wrong the first time, and the poor bastard's never come back
stuck
from it.
with Bin Dog.
He's Bin Dog forever.
He's a legend.
Dog, are you on your phone?
Yeah, because I'm getting my Water World.
That's up, man.
It's in preparation mode.
Yeah, very good professionalism. Bin Dog, let's get him on.
1417684.
On your wheelie bin.
I wish he had been there. Well, at least Bin Dog can explain it to you.
I was working.
What he did.
Your hair looks really thin at the moment, Campbell.
Hey.
I can see all the way to the back.
No, it's not the only thing that's looking thin. So's my guts.
Take that.
You need finasteride.
Finasteride.
Oh, sorry, finasteride.
And Camagra and Zithromax. He needs a cocktail of the three.
You've called Darcy Finnegan.
What's his name?
Back to you.
Darcy Finnegan.
Bin Dog, you son of a bitch.
G'day, Bin Dog. Put your gear back on, will you?
Hey, Binny. 12:30 on a Wednesday, mate. I didn't think you'd be working.
Yeah, that's true. Pomeroy, anything?
He's actually not employed, so he's not working, so I don't know what he's doing.
I just rang him to apologise because I was on my scooter the other day in the city just driving along and I go, Deano! And I gave a nice response like, hey, man! I'm always warm to people, but that's all I gave and I kept scooting.
You didn't know it was the actual Bin Dog.
Didn't know it was Bin Dog, man.
No, it
wasn't. I wish I knew it was
Bin Dog. Do you know why you didn't know?
No.
Because you had clothes on.
Bin Dog, we love you. Hey, how about picking up, you idiots, in our WhatsApp thread?
There's a lot of similarities between Brody and Bin Dog with their clothes off when it comes to the old mushroom cock.
Oh, yes, penis-wise, yes, it's very similar, actually. Good observation, Jonathan. Now it's time for...
What a world.
Yes.
Now, this is a moral question to you three here. A walker was going for a casual stroll on a Welsh beach recently. The beach was called Tan Ya Bleach Beachside near Aberystwyth in the west of Wales. Normal morning, strolling along, dog running out in front, looking at the sun, comes across something that was washed up on the beach, right? Closer inspection. $90 million worth, 90 million pounds, or Welsh, pounds, of pure cocaine.
Jeez.
90 million.
Yep. It was all tied together.
What?
Sounding something like straight off a gangster movie. They went up and they inspected it. They noticed it straight away that it wasn't a sea animal. The pile of black bags were all attached together, empty plastic bottles used as floating devices.
Yep.
Right? So they rang the police straight away.
Idiots.
And they've remained anonymous. And the police have come and they've taken it.
Yeah.
And they won't be receiving any monetary reward. It's not a reward type thing.
You should receive a reward.
But if it's not claimed, they get all the coke back.
So the conundrum is 90 million pounds. That's a lot of money, but there will be people looking for that amount of cocaine, right?
No shit.
They might find you. Like, do you take it and move countries, take your family, everything, or do you just hand it in?
Well,
and
that's
say,
why you should receive a financial reward. Just to help you hide out. Or at least some sort of benefit.
To hide out.
Yeah, well, either
Absolutely.
hide out or at least enjoy your life until these people find you and then they kill you and kill your family.
Yeah.
This honest
I think
person...
they did the right thing.
They did.
Remain anonymous, ring the police, want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
What a world. They could have changed their life forever, but they didn't because they're honest.
But you still got to move it. Like, yes, you are in possession of all these drugs, right? But you've still somehow, you have to sell it to someone. And as soon as you sell it to someone, they're going to go, who sold it? Yeah, it was Deano from Browny's podcast.
So
he sold me the 90.
Detective Pomeroy over here.
He sold me the 90
here's
million.
the twist in the story.
Okay,
right?
we're not done.
The Welsh police come down. They look at it and they say,
They came down the next day.
no, guys,
Well done.
just anti-inflammatory.
I call a gutting! I call a gutting! See you later.
Podcast.